All right, it's day 7 of my 365 challenge, and I normally do my workout in the morning, but um, this today I decided to start work early. So after prayer, I just jump right into work. I usually work out first and then go to prayer, but I went to prayer and then just went straight to work because I had some pressing things to do. So Um, so here's the deal with my 365 workout thing that I'm doing. I normally work out. I normally work out, um, at least 3 to 4 days a week, at least. When I'm not doing that great, I get in about 3 to 4 days a week, and sometimes 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. But I always work out. Ever since I know myself, I've been working out. Um, so, and I just like working out. When I was growing up, we used to well, we didn't need to work out because every day was a workout. We were playing soccer. Well, we call it football in the islands. We were playing soccer and um, doing all kind of stuff. So we were always working out. But then as I got older, I used to go jogging with the guys. We used to jog for a good distance. And so, I've always been working out or doing something, some kind of physical activity. And then I got in the military, and that was a workout. so, so I've always been doing some kind of workout, and that's why for me it's not terribly hard because I started just working into my life where if I don't get exercise, I feel like I'm dying. It feels so um, dragged, you know. So exercise to me is like just about anything that you have to do normally. So for me, if I don't do it, something feels off. I know a lot of people are trying to make their New Year's resolution to start exercising, start doing some kind of physical activity and things like that. I don't have to make a resolution for that. That's something I do every day. Just like I get up and put on my clothes, I get up and exercise. And if I miss it, I try to do something. Um, and so this morning I didn't exercise at all. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking a brisk walk around my community. It's not a lot of exercise for me. The area is just a mile and a half, but to me, just getting out here and just walking in the it's cool right now. It's about 55 degrees in Wellington, Florida. Unusual for us, but this time of the year is the cool time, when things get a bit cooler. So, yeah, um, it's nice. There's a nice little breeze, and it's just nice, fresh outdoor air that you can breathe without too much of the carbon fuel. Because I'm in a community, there's not much cars passing by in here. I don't know how people walk um, along the highways with a lot of cars. I just couldn't deal with it too much, and smelling the car fumes. Yeah, but I'm doing this brisk walk. Sometimes I jog it. I don't feel like jogging now. I've cut down on jogging quite a bit because jogging, um, my knees are not that great anymore. They hurt, and so I cut down on jogging quite a bit. Yeah. But this 365-day challenge is just, I'm trying to be consistent every single day and do something, even if it's something small, some kind of physical exercise, intentional physical exercise, and see if I can do it for 365 days. And I'm sharing it with you. All right. Yeah, so I'm tracking my neighborhood here, Emerald Forest. And so we'll see how fast I can walk this mile and a half or so. All right, so I don't know, I could turn this off because I don't have anything to say. but then I want you to see the whole exercise, which is kind of boring. I'm just walking, that's all. So while you're watching this, you could, well, you can't listen to music while you're watching this. Normally when I'm doing this walk though, I either listen to some music or listen to some scriptures or listen to a podcast or something like that, something that's uplifting and upbeat, or something informative, that's positive, not doom scrolling, not all the politics and all that nonsense. Because here's what happened. You listen to that stuff, right? Can you do anything about it from where you are? No, you've already done something about it. You already voted. And so that's the power you have to cast your vote. And then if you want to get more involved, then you run for office or something like that. Become a council person, councilman, councilwoman, or a senator, or Congress, or or be a community activist. But other than that, listening to this stuff and getting mad about it, that's just senseless. Because it doesn't do anything. All it does is send your blood pressure up. So you listen to good evening, I'll watch something that can help you. And that's what I do. Something that's going to help me. Something that's going to help me. First, something that's going to help me spiritually, or something physically, something financially. It's going to help me and or help somebody else. Other than that, it's just senseless listening to all this stuff. Politics and the news. Oh, the news. Oh, I don't even watch the news. I said if it gets bad enough, I'll hear about it. I'll hear somebody talking about it. Yeah. The only time I watch news is if I want specific content. Like if I'm trying to, I don't even watch it. I just search for it. If I'm trying to see what the Fed said about a certain thing, so I could figure out whether I should buy a stock or sell it or something like that, where the market is going. And I rarely do that because I'm not a big investor. I just dabble. So, so I do the things I look at and listen to and do the things that I care the most about, which is stuff that's going to help me, help my family, and help somebody else, and help my life, spiritual life, physical life. Yeah, that kind of stuff. All right. I think I need to pick up the pace here because I got somewhere to be. And so I got to get this walk in so I can get to be where I need to be. All right. See if I can jog a little bit. Why not? Why not? used to do wind sprints around here sometimes. Jog and then sprint, and then jog and then sprint. I used to sing cadence in the military. I can run to New York just like this, all the way to New York and never quit. That's a lie. Whew. Felt better. Guys, when you rent a car from one of these car rental places, hear me out. When you return that car, they'll tell you, usually nowadays, they tell you, oh, just leave the key in it, or just give us the keys and you're good to go. Don't do that. Do not do that. Stop, and while they're there with you, take pictures of the car with them in the picture. Take pictures of all sides of the car. If they're walking away, tell them you'd like for them to be in the picture. So, or make sure in the background you have something significant from that particular place in the picture. So they can't say that it wasn't when you bring the car back, or it was a picture of a different car or something like that. So, because here's what happened to me. I rented a car from Hertz, in LA, at the LA airport, LAX, and returned the car. Not a thing was wrong with the car. Returned it, no incidents, not even a scratch. And this was last October. Got a letter in the mail today. Hertz want me to pay them $807 for damages to the car. When we turned the car in, the person said, oh, you're good to go. Just leave I gave them the key. They said, oh, you're good to go. So the shuttle was waiting. We went on the shuttle. I didn't take any pictures. When I called Hertz and said to them, I said, what kind of damage? They said there was a scratch on the front bumper. I said, no, I didn't bring it back with any scratch. They said, well, yes, when they checked the car, after they checked the car, they found that. So I asked her, I said, well, you gotta pull, there has to be cameras there. So I want you to pull the cameras when I brought the car back, and the car should be in the cameras. And you should be able to see the condition of it from the cameras there. He said, well, we don't own the cameras, so we can't do that. I said, well, I'm not paying you $807. I didn't track your car. So, well, this is a customer service person. She's just doing her job, trying to finish up and go home so she can be with her family. But I said, unless you guys can show me pictures. He said, well, sir, you're supposed to take pictures when you bring the car back. I said, I didn't see that anywhere. She said, yes, it's in there. It's in the fine print. I said, who's going to read the fine print through how many pages? But you should read. But I did read that thing because we were looking for something else in there. And I did read it. But never, good evening. Never thought about taking the pictures when I brought the car back, because there's a lot of things in there. I was looking for something else. So that was it. They wanted me to send them. As soon as I logged on, she was like, sir, how would you like to pay? I'm like, are you kidding me? You have got to be kidding. How would I like to pay? I'm not paying you anything. So they can put it to my credit or whatever they want to do. But I'm still gonna fight it if it goes on my credit, because clearly somebody must have taken that car and scratched it. One of the people taking it back to park it, and then blame it on us because they were probably gonna get in trouble or something. I don't know. We brought it back a little early, so they probably took it for a ride too. And the other thing is, when you bring the car back, take a picture of the odometer too, as to how much the mileage is, so that so at least you'll have that if that ever comes up. So there's my car story. So it's so unconscionable what they do. They and try to nickel and dime people for things that either they have done or their system is just too terrible. So I said, why didn't somebody tell me that? Check the car with me. I said, well, we don't do that. We check it after you leave when we take it back. He said the person there taking the keys from you is just there to take the keys from you and check the odometer. So there you have it. When you rent a car, especially from Hertz, no wonder they're in trouble. But Hertz, they also manage Thrifty, Dollar, and I don't know which other one. Yeah, Thrifty and Dollar, I know, are under Hertz. But anyway, be careful because it could be something worse, and they want a lot more money. I'm waiting to see if they're gonna. Oh, did I tell you? Yeah, she said you're supposed to take pictures, and it's in the fine print on the agreement. And I said, who's gonna stay there and read 2 pages of fine print before they rent the car, or even after they rent the car? And she said, well, you're supposed to read it. That's exactly what she said to me. You're supposed to read it. And she's right. But millions of cars being rented every day. Do you think every customer sit down and try to read all this stuff, especially while they're renting the car or after they rent it? No. People rent the car. So things like that, I think it's incumbent upon the car people. If they're getting cars back damaged and it's hard to prove who damaged it, I think the car company should really, it's incumbent upon them to point out, put it in big, bold letters. Be sure to take pictures of the car when you return it, of the vehicle when you return it. Things like that, it shouldn't be hidden in fine print if they're having issues with that. And that's something that the consumer can use to help and indemnify themselves from things like this, where they're going to say you hit the car and you the consumer have no way to prove it, that it was or wasn't you. So if it boils down to somebody taking photos of the car at the return spot, then they should put that in big bold letters. I sell real estate, and anything on the contract that needs to be pointed out, especially part of it that says time is of the essence. That's one thing. And another part about getting the HOA docs before you sign the contract, or reviewing the HOA doc. It's big and bold. Another part is the right of inspection and right to cancel. It's in bold letters. They make sure they put it in bold. Another part, time is of the essence. They put it in big, bold letters. And so, you have a better chance with us buying a house than you have renting a car. Because number one, the process takes so long that you have time to read those documents. And you have 3 or 4 ways out of the contract by the time before it closes. And so you're safer buying a house. If somebody now tell me that when they're buying a house that they didn't read anything or they didn't read the fine print, then you could say that to them, because a house usually take 30 days to close, and you have the documents day one when you sign the contract. And your first way out is if it's a condo, you have a 3-day right of rescission where you can cancel within 3 days after receiving the condo docs. And so that's your first out on any real estate contract, starting with a condo. If it's not a condo, your first out is the right of inspection and right to cancel. And usually your agent would write that in, how many days, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days that you need to inspect the property and figure out. This is on an as-is contract, which is the most popular one that we use right now. Inspect it and make sure that you really want that property. And so, so you know that's your second way out there. If it's a condo, and your first way out if it's not a condo. And then the second way out is loan commitment, is your loan approval. You're going to write in there that you have so many days to receive loan approval from a lender, and if you didn't get that loan approval within those days, you can either elect to extend the time or get out of the contract during that time. You didn't get loan approval. The lender can send you a loan denial because you weren't approved for the loan, and you cancel the contract. The other out is your appraisal. If the property appraised below value and the seller is not willing to lower it to the appraised value, then you could walk away. Just say, well, I'm not paying the extra money for it. And you're out of the contract. But if you have an agent, be sure to ask your agent to put an appraisal contingency in there, especially if you're putting down a lot of money. But if you're just putting down 3.5%, you could make the case that, I don't have the money to go up to the extra amount over appraised value. I don't have the cash to come up with that money over appraised value to buy this house, because the lender would only lend you what it's appraised for. And so if you're dependent on the lender to give you to loan you the money, the lender is not going to lend you more than the home appraises for, because technically that's what it's worth. That's the value. It's called the appraised value. And so here you have it. You have a lot of ways out of contract when you're buying a house. At least 3 ways, and there are other ways too. There are other things in there that are the little things that you could do to get out of a contract. So we put that information in bold writing so the customer can see it, and we go over it with them so they can see it and hear it. And you're renting a car and they can't even point out to you and put in big bold letters up there, be sure to take pictures when you return the car for your own benefit or something like that. That means that their intention first and foremost is to get you, because they're not pointing out anything to you. They hide whatever the obvious thing should be. They hide it in the fine print and then hope that you mess up. You see, that's just terrible. The business shouldn't be done like that, because the consumer, the 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 vendor, i.e. the car company, they know what's in that paperwork. The customer don't know what's in the paperwork. So if there's something in the paperwork that might hurt the customer, or the customer really need to pay attention to, they should tell the customer, look, you really need to pay attention to this stuff in the paperwork. It's incumbent upon them. Nonetheless, we live in a capitalist society, and it's incumbent upon you to read everything, the fine print, the watermarks, everything. so so really, you have no excuse if you don't read it. But I'm still not paying them $807 or $1.07 for something that I know for sure we didn't do. All right, I'm back at the house. So I don't know how long was that. That was 26 minutes, and I think I walk about a mile and a half. All right, so that's my exercise for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.